Well,
So,
hello,
so
everybody.
for the
All right.
Good to see all these faces here.
Hey, everybody. Nicole here with the Gadget Repair Expo, and we have a full room today. I just love everybody that's here, and I'm so excited to talk about some really great things going on at the Expo. If you have not yet, go to the website and check it out. There's all kinds of info being added. Tickets are cheaper this year, so go check that out. We have two different options in tickets. You can sign up to compete. We have some exciting news coming about that too. This year, you're getting $3,500 if you win for best iPad Air 1 charge port replacement, and then $1,500 for the screen swap. And we just have so many new things going on, like speed networking. And so we're going to go over that in a little bit. But let's go ahead and go around the room and everybody say who you're with and who you are. And then we also have a topic, average order value, how you can increase your ticket as a shop owner. So let's get to it. Eric, you want to go ahead and go first?
Hey guys, I'm Eric from Phone LCD Parts. We are the closest wholesaler to the Gadget Repair Expo this year, based out in Jersey. Good to see everyone.
Solid.
Sorry, did you call on me?
Yes, so you're next.
Okay.
You're next on the screen, yeah.
Hi, so my name's Hassan. I'm representing Atlanta Wholesale. We're a trusted wholesale distributor of premium cell phone accessories, replacement parts, as in addition to much, much more. Kids ride-on cars, electric scooters, speakers, anything you can name. And we're based in Norcross, Georgia, and we serve repair shops, retailers, and individual technicians. And we also take walk-in customers, retail.
Shay.
Hey guys, I'm Shay from Android Gadgets, distributor in the space since 2009. Have tens of thousands of SKUs and really good shipping, really good products. And I mean, obviously I'm biased, but that's just some products in the industry. Happy to be part of GRE as always, and excited for another year with them, guys.
Thank you, Shay. All right, Brad. Oh, you got no sound, Brad.
Oh, hello, everybody. Same as Shay. I'm also excited about another GRE. I'm a co-founder of the GRE. Plus, I'm also co-founder of the Repairs First. So, I'm sure many of you hopefully have heard about Repairs First. But if you haven't, there it is.
Awesome. That was a good plug, Brad. That was good. All right, Jeremy.
Hi, everybody. I'm the CEO of the Gadget Repair Expo. I'm also CEO of Repairs First Association, and obviously a co-founder of those organizations as well. Very excited to have the 6.0 coming up as we continue to climb. I was just thinking about this the other day. Pretty soon it's going to be GRE 10.0. I mean, I'm blown away by the success, and I want to thank all the parties here who've been participating with us to ensure the success. Thank you very much. For those of you who don't know me, considered the godfather of cell phone repair. Been around in this business for about 30 plus years, and in the wireless industry before that. Was a founder and previous CEO of CPR Cell Phone Repair. And now, really our concentration is, with independent brands, some of them larger than others. But the participation of everybody in the industry as a whole working together to make it a better place and a better ecosystem for all of those who are involved. So even if you got one store, we want to give you a big voice. You need to join the RFA, be part of the community. And give yourself a bigger voice, buying power with the RFA that you wouldn't get as a single store. Not to mention there are tons of training and things that people like Martin have contributed and micro soldering and things that are just absolutely phenomenal. And so the organization, the association, I should say, is really all encompassing, anywhere from operations to technical support to buying power. So they're really strong. We just added some new warranty companies that are now feeding us business to our members. Very exciting. Part of the GRE and my keynote speech is going to be about home services and how it's a new frontier. We need to start thinking about these things. Just because you're paying a retail space doesn't mean you're stuck there. How can we get out and capture some of this additional business, B2B enterprise, and of course, warranty claims. So I want to thank everybody for coming on this call, participating at the GRE. Excited to see you all again, and I'm looking forward to a fantastic show in Atlantic City.
Yes, it's going to be so exciting. Thank you, Jeremy. That was great. All right, Martin, say hi. We are on your channel, so you may have watchers, and some of them may need to hear it bilingual.
Yeah, for sure. ¿Qué tal a todos? Mi nombre es Martín. Hicimos una compañía que se llama ZFix. Hacemos microsoldadura para negocios, para clientes finales. Tenemos un canal de YouTube donde enseñamos cómo diagnosticar un teléfono, cómo hacer microsoldadura, y estoy contento de ser parte de esta comunidad donde van a tener un evento ahora en mayo en Nueva Jersey, entonces muy feliz por eso, para competir, hacer microsoldadura, entonces súper feliz. Thank you, everybody. My name is Martin Organista. I do microsoldering. Have a YouTube channel where I teach how to do microsoldering, how to solder simple things, complicated and more advanced. Also teach in person, and also partnership with GRE to deliver all this material in English, so way that can be understood, and also in Spanish. So to help everybody get to know microsoldering, and it's not difficult, just practice. So I'm very happy to be part of these, and very excited for this event.
Yeah, and Martin, you're also a judge.
I was
So
going to
you
say,
are a
you're also
judge.
an amazing judge too. Forgot
I was going to say that.
all about that.
Here, you are a part of the judging team, and we love you for that. You do a really good job. Everybody loves you. And then this year we have some exciting things coming up with your demo. We might actually be doing something slightly different. We're not ready to announce it yet, but I'm going to be so excited. So they definitely need to get out to the show to see you and not just watch you, but to really learn. And so that's what's going to be exciting. So thank you for always being a part of the judging team. That is a lot of work. People don't know what Brad and IG and Martin and Jonathan, and now we've got Jessa this year, go through putting that all together. It's months in advance, meetings, and so thank you guys for doing that. All right, Brian.
Hi, my name is Brian Ahern. I'm the other co-founder of the Gadget Repair Expo, as well as the Repairs First Association. I've had the pleasure of knowing, most of the vendors that come out to the GRE for many, many years. As Jeremy said, this is 6.0. Most of the exhibitors and vendors do like to come back because it's fun, it's exciting, it's networking. We are doing things just a little bit differently this year. We don't have the $99 option for the passes. They're now $25 for general floor pass or $75 for VIP. So we've actually lowered our ticket price instead, and also increased it not increased the ticket price. Sorry, lowered our ticket price. And added a lot of functions in there for the VIPs. You can get them on our website. Nicole is scrolling it across the bottom right now. And I'm also the gentleman that you would speak with if you would like to get an exhibit or be a sponsor at the Gadget Repair Expo. I'll help you coordinate everything from the day you sign up for your space all the way through setup day and whatnot. Here to help you make it as easy as possible to get your items in there, as well as display them to the attendees. Just right now on projection, last show ticket sales that we had this far in advance from the show compared to where it was in Miami. In Miami, we printed off over 1,200 badges. And at this show, I don't know, Jeremy, I'm looking at what you're looking at too. I think we're going to hit 1,500 this year. Just going off of mathematics. I hope I'm not wrong, right? But just going off of the amount of tickets that have already been picked up compared to last show and what we ended up at the last show. So very excited for this. Obviously, it's the 6th one in an area that I don't think there's ever been a show like this in the Northeast, to my knowledge. I don't think there has. So anyway, would love to see everybody there. Thank you to all of our fine sponsors and exhibitors. If it wasn't for you all, then we wouldn't be able to make this possible. So thank you to everybody, and
100%.
looking forward to another very successful show.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. That was great. And I agree with you. New Jersey, Atlantic City, New Jersey. I mean, who would think? You know, we're really getting out there. We're going all kinds of places. So, Brad, I kind of wanted to let you go before we get on our topic, which I really want to hear about, especially from the vendors on here, is how can shops increase their average ticket, right? What are some things that you're seeing? What's trending? What do you know, data-wise? And so, Brad, you have some announcements to make, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What you want me to get to go with first? The average.
Well, I don't know. So you pick. You told me you have something special about the screen swap. So
I'll just throw it in real quick. You know, in order to get more the revenue, the dollars on your the ticket, you should definitely be asking everybody that comes in with a screen replacement on a tempered glass. Upsell them on a case. Ask them how long they've had their charger. It's easy. It just takes it to talk, you know.
Well,
I
that's a
stutter
great tip.
so.
But I was talking about that you had an announcement about the screen swap. You've been getting all excited and telling me, we got some news.
Swap. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks, very much thanks to our friends with Shay with IG. He's been gracious enough to loan his tools out, parts of staff with Cameron's. Anyway, so we're going to be doing an iPhone 11 screen swap on day one. Same thing as last year, but then we're going to change it up some. On day 2, we're also going to be having the same iPhone 11 screen swap up until about 11 o'clock. And then whoever has the best times out of the two best times, we're going to actually have them compete in the ring on another device doing a screen swap on it.
Surprise device.
We do not want to give the name of what kind.
Shay, have you heard the secret device? Has Shay been informed of the secret device yet? No? All right.
Cameron knows, I know. Classic is the only keyword we will give you.
It's a classic. And the other hint is it's not an iPhone 11.
Yes, not an iPhone 11. It is a classic. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. And then, a chance to win $1,500. I mean, come on. You do that every day.
I got some questions.
Yeah. So this is going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Day 1 and day 2. So they come to the show. They're going to be competing their times. By day 2 swings around, you're going to have 2 people picked out. They're going to go into the ring, which is different because did we do that last year in the ring with the screen swap? So they'll be able to get in the ring. Woo! The pressure is on. Do the screen swap against the 2 main competitors, but it's not going to be an iPhone 11. The final event is going to be a surprise phone.
Classic.
A classic. So does anybody want to vote?
We're not telling you the manufacturer.
You can't even pay me enough.
It might be.
What's your vote? What do you think
it
it's
might be an audio box. We're not going to tell you.
Oh gosh! Don't be discouraged, guys. You can do this.
Sony Ericsson, Nokia.
A Nokia. Hard antenna phone. Yeah, that.
A blue phone. Do you guys remember blue?
Yes. Yeah.
Now that's, I might be able to compete in this since it's a phone I know is so old. I know which one it is.
Have you inherited?
I thought
I might be able to.
I thought when you say classic, it was going to be an iPod Nano Classic or something.
No, it's an oldie but goodie.
We can say it's newer than a bag phone.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know what phone it is, so I'm pretty sure
it's newer than a beeper. There you go. It's newer than a beeper.
Classic HTC HD2s and the HTC Inspires were insanely difficult.
Hey,
HTC.
we're
The
not
HTC
doing it.
Inspire was the
Trying to
phone
say
you
that
couldn't
name.
set
I
the
hate
screen down
HTC
flush.
phones.
There's a lot of money here. We're talking about $1,500, $1,500. So we're not gonna make it easy.
Yeah, I just remember like back, my first phone was iPhone 4 that I repaired. There used to be so many screws, and then as the generations come and go, like you get fewer screws. So I just remember when you say classic, I'm thinking there's going to be a lot of screws. You have to have like a whole
iPhone
screwdriver
4.
set,
I
maybe.
love doing that phone.
There will be more screws in it versus the iPhone 11 for sure.
For sure.
I had to take the camera off so I didn't give up my poker face here. I thought we can't give it up. We can't give it up. It's gonna be a top secret.
Eric,
It's gonna be a
what's
lot
your
of fun though.
Come on,
Here's
Eric.
what's
What's your vote?
This is
I'm voting for a
Test Arena.
beeper. I would
A
love
beeper?
beeper repair. If anyone, I was actually curious. Has anyone here used a beeper? I never.
I did. That was my
What was your
go-to.
favorite?
Old
What was the
enough,
model
yes.
beeper that everyone used? What was like the hot model?
It was a
hot pink. I don't know
BlackBerry.
what model
No, it was a
though.
Nokia. It was a Nokia.
It was always
Nokia
Motor,
beeper.
always Motorola.
Motorola. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, that's my
That is
vote. I'm
cool.
voting for a beeper.
Remember when
did
we would type numbers that would spell out words.
Like a
You
calculator.
could do a lot of
I
clean words as well as a
love
lot
you.
of dirty words. But you could just beep somebody with a word,
Martin,
made out of numbers.
what about you? What phone do you think it's going to be? I don't think you have the insider knowledge, but you might because you're a microsoldering judge.
A classic, maybe an iPhone 5S, 5s.
5S.
You
Oh,
wished.
just-
That would be
Yeah.
a challenge.
Because those will have the fingerprint on the bottom. If you open hard, all gone.
I've
Yeah.
You're
like,
making me feel
broken so many
real old
fingerprints.
now. Classic
Wow.
5S. Wow.
Okay, well, we've got some big news. Thank you so much, Brad. Do not be afraid to compete, though. You guys can do this. You need to register online. So we need to pre-register because there's also going to be, there's a lot going on. I mean, it's great that you guys show up at the show and want to just compete. It's important that you go on and register. If you know you're going to want to compete, go online and register. Now, for the microsoldering event, it is required that you register before the event because we only allow up to 40 participants and there's going to be tools that are going to be like in a little bag situation. We don't have the details on that yet, but it's very important if you're going to compete in the microsoldering that you register prior to the event. We've already had a bunch of people registered. As a matter of fact, one literally texted me right before we went live asking some just final, they messaged me on Facebook just asking some final details before they registered. So this is a big amount of money. $3,500. And guys, we haven't even announced we're gonna probably announce next week something else around that, another huge prize. So keep your ears peeled, get registered for the competitions. And all right, so let's get into our topic.
Hold on, Nicole, just
go
wanted to
ahead.
mention that Phone LCD Parts is actually doing the screen protection competition as well. Is that correct?
We didn't have a wording on it yet, so that's what I was talking about next week. Are we actually going to have it up
leave
here?
Eric out. So
You're early
Eric
announcing.
looked like he was surprised for a half a second there. I don't know, but that's what we're hearing.
Well,
Is
you
that
just
right,
said we
Eric?
were gonna-
Oh, well, I probably need to answer that.
Okay.
We're working through the final details. I just got an email back from Megan, and we've been talking with Onder. So it really hasn't been publicly announced yet. I'm just making sure that it all gets wrapped up, and then that way everybody will know. So yeah, if we could hold off on that one until next week, would be better.
My bad.
Yeah,
That's okay.
Never mind. I didn't say
Jeremy,
that.
I didn't want to leave Eric out. So
no,
Thank you.
but POP is 99% locked in to do a particular thing. I'm just getting the details ironed out. That's all.
That's right. But it will be online. You will not be lost. If you're watching this and you've got your ears perked up now, don't worry. We will make sure you know everything you need to know and make sure that you are able to compete and sign up in advance. So if everybody's ready, I would like to go to our topic because you know, you see a lot of posts online, especially recently. I've been seeing in the groups people posting like, how's your week been this month? How's this? You know, and some people, they comment, I'm doing fabulous. It's been super busy for me, busiest ever. And some people comment, this is the worst, right? So what can shops do in your guys' experience? You're dealing with shops every single day to increase their ticket. Let's maybe give them some ideas. So Eric, you are the one that's right next to me. So let's go ahead and let you go first and we'll go around.
So one thing I'll even throw out there, I hope people can answer too, is what is the ideal average ticket, right? And that could really be thrown off by how heavy you are with device sales as well, right? So if you sell a lot of devices, it's going to be drastically different. I would say if you're repair heavy, 150 is the ticket I'm throwing out there. And when I look at shops, a lot of shops will have $100 average ticket and they're super weak in accessories, right? So there's lots of things you can do, but just even knowing where you need to be, I think, is a good starting point. And then, auditing, if you got to really be on top of your people. So what can you do? The big thing I would throw out there is actually give a commission and pay it out once a week. That way it's visible, because we could go down the list of lots of really great ideas, but I think it's harder to implement average ticket and implement upselling, especially with repair people who are so focused on a repair that when it actually comes time to upsell, they forget about it and move on. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but I think the easiest thing to do is have a commission and really enforce it with everybody. That's what I would throw out as a big lever.
Great tip there. Saad is definitely on this topic and he is loving it. He is down there like, yes, commissions and upsell.
Saad's been to just about every GRE, I think. I've seen him.
Yeah, he sure has. Saad is the only person in the industry that actually knows my stores. We were in the same flea market for years. And even though people would consider us competitors, we got along extremely well. And so he knew me all before Salvotics. So yeah, that's a little background there. So before we go on, we have somebody's made a question or comment. What's a good commission?
Shay had to drop off. He had something that was urgent that came up.
Oh, no problem. All right, Hassan. Does anybody want to, before we go forward, Eric, somebody want to talk about this commission template?
For commission template, I think one of the easiest things to do
is so for example, what we do in our stores is we do commissions on accessories and cell phone sales. And we do weekly. So we pay their bonus weekly, and we have a goal for everybody. So what would be your goal for this week? We set the goals, we write down in a board, and then we tell them, okay, so what could you do? And then we meet there every Saturday where we do our distribution of bonus, and then we see if we met our goals. If not, how can we do it to get it better? And always a great attitude goes a long ways. If you tell a customer with a battery to a accessory, charger, a case, they won't take it. But if you talk to them, you comprehend what is his issue, what he came for at the beginning. So if he replaces the charging port, maybe he can get a new charger as well, new cable. Maybe the one that it was using it went bad because of the cable he was using.
Right.
And Martine, just to be clear, you give out the bonus totally separate from pay, correct? That way they actually see what the bonus is. Oh, I guess you can't hear me. Can everyone hear me?
Can you hear me? I can hear you, Eric.
Okay.
Martin, can you hear him? No, I can hear him. Oh, so Martin's having selective hearing now. He's having selective audio hearing.
Martin, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now or no? Yeah. Okay. So I was just asking, you just were saying that you pay out a bonus. You pay it out separately. Is that correct? Or if someone else wants to repeat that, if you can't hear.
Yeah. Martin, do you, how much, which the amount or the? I'm saying
I think what he was saying is on Saturday, he pays out the bonus by itself. That way, when he pays it, people see this is exactly what we're making on
Got
bonus.
It. Do you pay it out by itself each Saturday? Is that what you're saying, Martin? So that people can see?
So we pay just the bonus, just whatever we agree on the accessories, this much, and cell phone sales, this much. So let's say through this week, an employee will say, I will make $150 just on my bonus.
Hmm.
So I have to sell this many accessories, either cables, cases, uh, or cell phone sales, the devices itself.
Okay, so all right, so they kind of can set their own goals. Like I want to make an extra $1,000 this week, so now I can they can reconstruct it, or what do they call that?
Reverse psychology?
Reverse engineer.
Reverse engineer.
Reverse engineer.
Reverse
But yeah.
calculate.
There's a term for it right here.
I did mine a little differently on that. So this is obviously a few years ago, and we focused more on margin than anything else, because margin's what pays the bills. Sales don't pay any bills. Margin's what pays the bills, right? And so when it came down to a repair, of course, that was just all calculated in, right? There really wasn't a bonus per se on just repairs. But I went back and I would go, when we started doing the incentive on accessories, I looked at what did we average for the last 3 months compared to total tickets, and I came up with a number. Okay. And then on that number, I was like, all right, I can see where employee A, employee B, employee C. Employee A did 5, employee B did 6, employee C did 12, right? Well, you also got to consider that employee A is doing all the hard micro soldering in the back and doesn't have a chance to come to the front counter. So it's a little bit challenging for him to come up with it. So I would do $10 on every buyback, buying a device back. The employee that processed the buyback in the POS would get $10 for the buyback, because I wanted to push buybacks. And then we pushed a lot of tempered glass. Now, I've heard people say, Brian, you can't get those prices today. Okay, fine. We can change it up. I would take the whether it be a Protection Pro style or the one that's already pre-cut, and I would look at my margin. So if my margin was $25, I would give the employee $5. I still made 20. Okay. If they do 10 of those a week, that's $50. That's $1.25 an hour raise, right? And then I would look at the cases. I would look at margin. For every 20, I would give them 5. Because I think Nate had asked, what's a good commission template to run off of? But you got to have a minimum goal, right? Because your employees are already being paid to do a job, right? And part of their job is to make sales, especially your salesperson. So you don't just want to do it on everything. So if right now you're averaging 25 accessory sales a month, well, they got to hit that level first, because that's what you're already paying them to do. And then at 26, 27, 28, 29, a baseline. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then on top of that is where you would do it to increase, and throw little competitions. Say, have them if you have a shop that has 2 people on the front counter the majority of the time, then run a little competition between the 2. Between the 2 of you, whoever gets the highest sales this month, I'm gonna buy you a pizza or pay for your lunch or whatever, right? But if you also encumber all that into margin for the store. So if your margin for a 5-day work week that has 4 Saturdays in it is, let's just say $20,000. I'm throwing out numbers here. If it's $20,000, then if they hit $30,000 in margin, hypothetically, or even 25, that each employee would get $250. So there's a lot of ways you can do it, especially with accessories. You can either do it by the individual piece, or you can do it by total margin based off of a baseline and using indices. I know that sounds a little bit complicated, but I'm sure Jeremy can probably explain it a lot easier. But you got to look at your busiest days of the week, your slowest days of the week, compare this year January to last year January, and then you look at the day of the week, and then if Saturday is your busiest or biggest margin day, well, a month that has 5 Saturdays in it, you're not going to do as much as a month that has 4 Saturdays in it. So when
Well,
you're
I think
projecting your
Brian,
margin, you have to take all that into consideration.
yeah, I think one thing that you're bringing to light, though, is probably a whole other topic we could do. Stores need to know their numbers, right?
Fair.
So I want to go to Hassan and Jeremy. Who would like to throw in a little bit here? Go ahead, Hassan.
I can talk on AOV. So I'd say I'd agree with what's been previously said, that the best way to increase AOV is to pair a repair ticket with accessories. Now, in order to do that, what we try to do is we try to train our staff to ask questions, right? Someone coming in with a phone repair, their screen shattered. They're under the impression that like, okay, my phone's a lot more vulnerable than I thought. So we train our staff to ask questions like, are you currently wearing a case on your phone? Like, where was the case? What type of case was it? And then we try to bundle in like screen protectors, a case on top of already the repair that's being done. And in addition, so now the customer is going to be like, okay, let me get a case and a tempered glass. Now, as a distributor, Atlanta Wholesale, what we also do that we sell to these phone repair stores, we pre-package the screen protector and the case together, so that when the manager or whoever is doing merchandising for these phone repair stores, they walk in, they're like, okay, I know customers nowadays, they want to get a case and tempered glass together. We're like, okay, we actually have that ready for you right here. So this is something that we have. In addition, we like to throw in statistics. We can tell like whoever's purchasing, we could be like, nowadays MagSafe accessories, I'm just making this up, but nowadays MagSafe accessories are like outperforming a traditional charger. Is that something you would want to buy? So I feel like the best way, in my opinion, and you guys feel free to add on or correct me, or, I'll keep the conversation going. But in my opinion, I think it's to train staff to ask questions about what the customer's like habits are. So they have a case, a screen protector, this and that. And also share insights, say privacy glass sells more, or like MagSafe accessories are outperforming traditional chargers, stuff like that. I feel like those paired onto an already pretty large repair ticket, I feel like that will do wonders for an AOV.
Great tips there, Hassan. Thank you.
I would train
I want to add in here the hotel. I want to plug in the hotel again, just while you guys are watching. Don't forget to go get your ticket. But again, hotel rooms. Now, this hotel where the expo is going to be at is really amazing. You guys should look it up. It's a beautiful hotel. Hard Rock Casino. I think there's a specific way to say it. I think Jeremy corrected me the other day.
It's a Hard Rock Resort and
Casino.
They pointed it out to me the other day that we're calling it the Hard Rock Casino Resort. So they were getting picky about how we actually listed it. You have it down here right on the bottom. This is a Hard Rock Resort and Casino. And we called it everything from the Hard Rock Casino to the Hard Rock Casino and Resort.
Hard Rock Hotel.
Anyway, yeah. So if you look it up online, you really want to look up the Hard Rock Resort, because it is a resort. I mean, it's amazing. It's right on the boardwalk. Walk out the back doors on the boardwalk. You've got a huge right on the boardwalk itself. There's a huge pier with the fair. They got Ferris wheels, they got rides, they got games. I mean, it's like year round. It's amazing. So you have tons of restaurants. Little places, little bars, that kind of stuff all around. Of course, you got the casino. There's tons of things to do. And it's really the best spot to be in Atlantic City, and we're right there on it. It really is amazing.
The beach. There's a beach.
Well, and
the beach. Of course. Yes, the beach.
Something I even forgot to mention a minute ago, and Nicole, if you can scroll that up a little bit so we can share it, because the red is blocking it out. The Hard Rock Casino has given us, thank you, there you go. The Hard Rock Casino has given us 3 gift cards. For one of them's for $100, and then there's 2 of them for $50 a piece, that are going to go to random people that book their hotel between, was it now and the end of the month, Jeremy, or did they give us a timeline on that? Do you remember?
I know the drawing's going to be on day 1 at the GRE, but I don't know the timeline.
I don't know that there's a timeline here, Brian.
Yeah, there might not be a time. I might be getting that confused with something else. So anyone that registers to get a hotel room is in a drawing.
You're going to be entered.
Yeah.
If you make your room reservation at $99 per night, you cannot beat that. It is absolutely fantastic.
No.
We were able to negotiate here. But yeah, if you book your room, you're automatically registered for the gift card.
Correct. And then we'll give that away. We'll flush that out, but we'll give it away at day 1. I don't know the logistics on how that'll happen yet at this moment, but hopefully you win, and then you can go spend the money and make some money. I mean, that'd be, go up there and beat the blackjack.
I mean, look at just these 3 photos. I mean, look at the entrance here. I
Yeah.
mean, I can't always take photos. It's just beautiful. I'm super excited about this hotel. Awesome. Okay, I wanted to plug the hotel, but you guys can go on. Jeremy, I know that you had some things you wanted to add about our topic. And
Yeah, so in my stores, we always concentrated on attachments, and not necessarily accessories. They're going to be parts too. So when somebody comes in with a broken screen, let's just not rush them right into the back. Let's tell them, you're looking at the phone. It's an iPhone 11. Obviously, it's been on a little while. Let's test the battery. Let's see what the battery level is. Let's look at the back glass. Let's look at the front. It's just not what they're asking for. We kind of called it the Midas approach. If you go to Midas, the muffler, or any tire dealership, they check everything. They come back with a list and they're telling you about the windshield wipers. You need an oil change, and that's what you really need to do here. If you're not asking all the questions, you're not going to get a yes to anything but fixing, what they brought it in for. And so we make sure that we're, if it's an older phone or in a couple of years, we're testing that battery. And we're saying, hey, why not replace the battery now? You don't have to pay a labor fee to do it later. Might as well do it right now. We can take care of that. And so we'll talk about the attachments around the repair initially, and then we get that yes, and we take it in the back. And then we get that repaired. And when we come out, now we're talking accessories. We're talking, hey, by the way, you just made a nice little investment here in this phone. You should have a tempered glass. You should have a case on this. Let me just show you a couple options you have and put that in there here for you, because that only makes sense. I don't really ask for it. I just kind of put it in there, right? And so our goal was always, increasing that ticket value, the AOV, simply at minimum in our minds of $10. If you guys are doing tempered glass at $10, $15, $20, whatever you're doing, start thinking about what is my minimum I need to increase this AOV by, and let me start working on that. And then you can start working on commission later. Start talking about in advance. Might be a little bit premature. What actions do you need to do in order to put that additional ticket revenue in place? A lot of things that I see out there, people doing, charge a port cleaning for free. I'm going to get a good review. You should get a good review anyway, right? Doing things for free is not conducive to any business long-term, financially. People brought it to you. You could have told them on the phone to clean it out with a Q-tip or something. But why bother taking that phone and putting it on your bench in front of a guy that you're paying or a gal that you're paying hourly for that repair, and then doing it for free? I see zero value in that. I never did. And you got to have a minimum, labor fee of some kind for anything you do in your store. What we see as a kind of a benchmark out there is about $35. Our stores were doing $55. That's our minimum bench fee. If you come in and we drop off a phone and we're going to try to repair it, it's going to cost you something. Now, do you lose that money? In our stores, you didn't. If you paid us $55 and we could not fix it, it was not repairable, or at least not economically, we'd apply that $55 to a phone in the case, because what are you going to do? Let them leave? Go buy a phone somewhere else? You should have some kind of option for them at the store, even if it's not exactly what they want. Give them a loaner phone. Give them a step up later. We'll order you a different phone, and you can use this one for now. And I'll charge you just, half the price until we get the other phone in, right? We'll cover this phone for now, and then we'll charge you the upgrade when we get the new phone in. There's all kinds of options, but you cannot let your customer leave. And so we apply that labor fee to, if maybe they don't want a phone, maybe they already got an option to get another phone. Great, get another phone. Come in here, we got a $55 credit for you for future repair or accessories. We're not losing that money, and they're not losing that money. You made a win. And that always has to be the case. You can't do things for free. And when you start establishing a minimum standard, you're going to see automatically your AOV is going to go up, because too many people are doing things for practically nothing or free. And that is unacceptable in any established business. I got a friend of mine who runs a computer shop. You can't drop a computer off at his shop without paying $75 down right away. You won't even look at it.
Yeah.
So why are we looking at phones? Why are we doing things with the expectation of getting nothing out of it? Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't fix it. Have a great day. What do you mean? I just paid a technician to spend 3 hours on that trying to see if he could fix it. That's unacceptable. So once you start establishing some base standards around operations, especially on minimum ticket, minimum bench fee, however you want to call it, and applying that to that cost back to the customer as a rebate of some kind that they can use later if it can't be repaired, you win.
Well, Nate's got a good question here because, you know, this is mindset, and this is probably a whole other topic. We're coming to the end of our session, but we probably should have a call about this because what you're bringing up really is somewhat of an industry issue, because somebody may reply to you. A lot of competitors that do it for nothing. So there's a lot there that you can do differently, so then you don't feel that way about your own business. You know what I mean? Or that you have to compete with the bottom. You know, like the race to the bottom. You guys always say we're not racing to the bottom. I always hear that sort of thing, right? So Nate says the best way to train your team to have that mindset, Jeremy, I think like this, but how do we get 9 others? And so I'll leave off with this, Jeremy. Do you want to answer this? And before we jump off?
Yeah. I mean, you got to put the policy in place. A minimum bench fee is going to be this. And if customers object, remind them that if we can't fix it, they're not losing the money. It's staying here as a credit. Whether you want to apply it towards a phone or another device or accessory or another repair, you're not losing that money. And people 99% of the time don't object. If they object for you not doing something for free, you didn't want them for a customer anyway. So you really just have to, in your store, say, this is a rule now. This is the baseline. We're not going to take anything in here for water damage. I don't care what it is. If we're opening that device and we're not giving you a free estimate right in front of your face, as soon as we grab that device and bring it in the back or wherever you're repairing it, that's going to incur the bench fee of a minimum of whatever. But I tell you, you should be. I've been doing $55 since, I had 8 stores 10 years ago.
Well, you
right?
still
So
have a store. I think that's
$35.
important to say, Jeremy, because some people do look at you like you've been around for so long, original founder, CPR, and they think, oh, this guy, he doesn't have stores anymore. That's not true.
Yeah.
You actually see that.
Technically, it's my daughter's store. I gave her an early inheritance and let her operate and own that store. But I'm in there all the time. I'm always tinkering with things. I'm never going to leave this business. Like, I love to work on devices. She'll call me in on all kinds of stuff. A lot of times it's older stuff, I will say. But I love to get in there and work. But that being said, all you have to do to answer that question, just establish a baseline of this is the policy. Print up on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. Minimum bench fee is $55. About it becomes a store credit. That way you don't have to say it. It's there. There's nothing wrong with it. Nobody's going to run out your door if they are. You don't want them as a client anyway.
That's right. Great.
Let me, if you don't mind, give me 3 minutes here, because one thing, I'm going to go back to the attachment, and then I'd also like to address what Nate had said, just kind of going back on the attachment. I did things a little differently, and I think the whole purpose of this call is, there's more than one right way to do something, right? There's always more than one right way. And the way that we did it in our stores when it came to accessories is that when the device came in, let's just say broken screen, okay, we would quote the cost of the repair right there up front and have that customer pay that amount of money up front. Now, there's a reason why. Okay, there's a mental reason why, because now that money is already out of their pocket, it's already on their credit card, and that it's, I'm not going to say it's forgotten, but it's not a big scary number. Okay, and then if it was during the repair, they needed a battery. Okay, my tech would get on the phone. They would say, hey, Joe Schmokatelli, hey, I'm inside your phone. We ran some tests on the battery, and your battery's down to 75%. I can go ahead and replace it right now while I'm in here for $75. And they're going to say, okay, all right, fine. So now we add $75 to the ticket. And then now when they come pick up the device, my employees, I train them to always ask, have we solved all of your needs today? That's a question that you're always going to get an answer to. And they're going to say yes. Say, well, one question I would have for you is, what happens if you drop, do you have any protection for your phone? I mean, you just paid a lot of money to get your phone fixed. Have you thought about maybe getting a good case on there? No, I never thought about that. Well, I got one right here for only $25. Okay, $75 for this, you're only going to owe another $100. That's it, right? Well, you already got that $150, $200, out of their pocket at first. So now they're not seeing one big ticket for $400 or whatever it is, right? So we would do the add-ons after we collected all that money up front. And then on Nate, I think so. Yeah, I think this way, but how do we get 9 others to do it? Are you if you're referring to your employees, how do you get your employees to do it? If that's your question, well, that's what they're getting paid to do. I mean, I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit more direct when I hire someone to do a job for me, because I set the expectations in the very beginning of this is your job, right?
Is he hiring millennials, or what is that generation that we always hear about?
Z,
Well,
Gen
I mean,
Z.
you-
I got
you
a
can
couple
put
of
a-
those running around in my house here.
You can put a
I'm
name
Gen
to
Z.
it.
Nate and Hassan.
You can put a name to it, but for 6 months or 8 months or so, I went completely off the limb and I bought a lawn care company. Long short story, the employee situation was just horrible. Right, they're not doing their job right, and the first guy I fired. The rest I did it in public. I'm like, you know what? I've asked you 4 times to do it. Leave. Well, you don't have enough people to do the lawns. I'll do it myself.
You know what?
And
This
so I'm
is
a little
whole
bit
other
more
topic. We're
straightforward
going to go
with
down
that.
a rabbit hole about.
I know. But I think it's important to know that when you have your team members, obviously you want to work them along with it. But at the end of the day, if you're a shop owner, and how do you get your team members to start offering accessories? You ask them, you show them, you lead them by example, and you show them, and you do it
You're right,
yourself.
Brian.
Yeah,
You made a point there, Brian, about asking questions. If you're not asking any questions,
right.
you're not going to get any yeses, or you're going to get any answers. So it's important that your salespeople or technicians or hybrids, wherever they are, they understand some sales processes involved. If they don't ask, they're not going to get the sale. Okay.
Right.
That's so simple. The RFA specializes in operational training, support. We even do consulting. If you guys want to reach out to one of us, we're easy to get hold of. Just go to the RFA website, click on any of our names, send us an email. We'll be glad to talk to you about some more operations in your store. Obviously, I come from a franchise company with tons of stores and operational, standards, but that doesn't mean you can't have that in each and every one of your stores. And, if you look at Martin's, shirt, he's got branding. If you don't have branding, look around. One of the things we saw, look around your store, what does a customer see as a first impression? You're talking about AOV. The number one thing is first impression. If they come in there not trusting you, they're already driving the price down. They're already arguing with you about the price you just quoted them. Well, can you do it for 50? No, I can't do it for 50. I just quoted you 75. But why are they whittling you down? It's because their first impression when they walked in your shop was maybe you weren't as professional as they expected you to be.
Curb
So
appeal.
therefore, you leave yourself open to taking the decrease in price in order to keep that customer. So you really have to look around and say, are we representing the brand? Are we wearing their shirts? Are people looking nicely? I mean, do they have holes in their jeans? Is the shop smell good when you walk in there?
I'm gonna have to cut in here because this is a topic that
the AOV. That's just such an underlying factor, though. I think it's so important that if you forget how you look and how your first impression is, you will not meet your AOV goals because people are not going to buy additional things from you. They're going to be lucky in their mind if they get out of there just spending $50 and get their device fixed. Hassan, I saw you nodding and Martin on that. If you guys have anything to add to that, but I think that's important.
Yeah, I wanted to pull in Eric and Hassan and Martin to the conversation as we're getting down to the end here, about 10 minutes away. Do you guys have anything you want to add about this topic before we jump out?
I think the question was, how do you get 9 people in on it? And that is one of the reasons I like commission, because people really remember, we have all these things to teach them. They're definitely going to remember how much their bonus is every week, right? So that's a good leverage point to hop on it. Another point to that, though, I think experience will teach you that there are people who don't care about their bonus, right? Like you're going to see every week, some people will be high bonus, some people will be low bonus. And maybe to Brian's point, that's where you get rid of them, right? There is a minimum standard. And I think that's a question too. I think a real good way to increase your AOV is like people that aren't cutting it, don't keep them there because it kind of infects the rest of the team as well. So, this is a pretty deep question. How do you increase it? But bonus, I think, is one of the easiest levers. Or I think a good question would be, what's the easiest way to increase it, right? Because there's 1,000 ways you could do it. So, I mean, one question I have for Jeremy real quick, too, is implementing this checklist, right? I'm sure check it when you get in. Did you guys use a checklist? Did you guys use a digital? And Martin as well, how do you guys do that? Because that was a great point. A lot of people are missing out on repairs, not even accessories, just adding on that extra repair. How do you guys do it? Is it repair list? Is it digital? Is it just remind people to ask?
Oh, you're muted, Jeremy.
He's still muted.
He's still muted. We'll let Jeremy fix his audio really quick. Hassan, did you want to add something too? We'll come back to Jeremy's question because Jeremy is you're still muted, Jeremy.
I don't have much to add there, but I was just
there you are. Okay, now go ahead. Sorry.
And 30 years ago, we were on paper. If that's what it takes, you just print out a form on your computer and print it out, and everybody checks it, right? A little checklist is important, regardless of whether it's digital or it's by paper. Of course, a lot of point of sales today. We have some RFA members that are point of sales out there. There's a selection of them, and most of them, if not all of them, have the checklist built into there. And you should definitely be using it and making your people check the front, the back. You got to know all the things that are wrong with that phone, not only from a possible upsell, as Eric was saying, on the parts, but also cover your butt in case something goes wrong or nothing goes wrong. You fix a repair and they say, well, how come this doesn't work now? Well, you never checked out the device. You never knew if it was working before or after. So that could be a problem you get yourself into. So I would say that's absolutely a great point, Eric. You've got to have a checklist. And while you're looking at that checklist, you should also be going, this guy's back is shattered. He's only asking about the front of this phone. It also doesn't charge properly. I'm wiggling the charger all around in it. The battery, I tested the battery and it's low. All these things give you opportunity that you need to take advantage of, because the customer is coming to you. They want their device fixed for whatever reason. Maybe they want to keep the data. Maybe they just love that particular device and not ready to go get a new one. We all know how hard it is to swap all our contacts and photos and all the information we have in one device to another, no matter what. That's also a lot of people don't want to get around to that. So you have an opportunity here right in front of your face to take advantage of these things. And the first step is to make sure you're capitalizing on all the possible repairs that they could potentially need in that device. And you got to have a checklist. To Eric's point, that's a good one.
Hey, Nate, regarding your question, shoot me an email, brian@repairsfirst.org. Let's you and I hop on a call. I'll share a few things with you on that I think will go over pretty smoothly for you, because I'm reading your messages in here. I'm seeing that you probably need some help, and I'm happy to help you. So BRIAN@repairs, REPAIRS, first, FIRST.org. Shoot me an email and let's you and I hop on a call.
Okay, great.
I see that Nate also asked this quick question about taking money up front. So, that's another thing we do in our stores too. We always get people paid right then and there. I mean, I'm not a collection agency. I'm not going to call all week long, chase customers down, trying to get my money. I don't have time for this, right? So if I charge them up front, the repair is being done, go back to the bench fee that I just mentioned. If it cannot be done, we can give them a refund minus the $55, cover our time and the expense into that. But if the worst case scenario, I want to give them not a refund if we can't fix it. I'd like to apply the entire amount to a device in a case, or something that would help them move forward. That's the goal. How do we help them have a solution? You can provide a solution, you're going to make all kinds of sales. You just got to ask some questions to get there.
The biggest thing I think we've all touched on here is basically, if you don't ask, you're never going to get it.
That's right. And know your numbers.
Know your numbers. That's a long time ago when I first started dating. I had to ask 1,000 girls to get one yes. Maybe it has to do with this. I don't know. But, if you don't ask, you're never going to get a yes. That's
how often do you ever marry the first person you meet?
Okay. Anybody else want to add anything? Martin, did you want to add anything? We're on your channel, so I know you might want to say something to your followers as well.
I mean, micro soldering this competition is awesome. I mean, it's 3,500. just to start at a charging port. Then if you added up that to the screen replacement is another 1,500, so that's 5,000 right there. That will be a great paycheck.
Right. And we have something to announce next week about the competitions. Hopefully, fingers crossed. There may be some other things going on. So, yeah, so get registered to compete. Thank you for bringing that up again, Martin. And yeah, so this has been a really good call. And I think what this brings to light is that there's so much information here. And there is, I've got a lot of topic ideas now. So you should definitely see those coming out in future GRE calls because like this really can benefit some stores. So thank you all for being here. If you guys have not been to the expo or if you have been to the expo, get your ticket. The tickets are cheaper this year. So you got a $25 ticket and a $75 ticket. Tickets were $99 prior. So there's no reason, nothing holding you up. Go online, get your ticket. If you're a vendor and you're watching this and you're on the fence or you want to get a booth and you don't know who to talk to, it's going to be Brian. And you just go to the website and you can find forms to reach out to him and all of that. So yeah, thanks everybody for being here and we'll see you on the next live.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Nate,
Thanks,
don't forget
everyone.
to email